Hello, how are you? How are you? How are things? Shall we talk Burgundy years tonight? Well, not years, call them vintages. I know it might be a bit confusing because I usually associate vintage with like vintage clothing, but that's what we call years in Burgundy. So if you were to ask, oh, so what year is this wine? Usually ask, what vintage is this wine? And if you want to be super fancy, you go millésime. You say, oh, wait, what millésime is this wine? So this is a French word. Millésime is a French word for vintage, for year, when the wine was harvested. This can be a bit frustrating because the vintages in Burgundy are really hard to navigate. And oh my god, if I had a nickel for every time somebody asks me what is the best vintage in Burgundy, it's really up to you to actually explore the region and to find what style matches your taste or your personality, or what are you really looking in wine. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper now. People usually talk about bad and good vintages, not only in Burgundy, but generally in wine. But in Burgundy, it's especially the case. I genuinely believe that there are no bad years in terms of wine style in Burgundy. There are, of course, bad years in terms of, the struggles for the winemakers. Low yields caused by hailstorms, late frost, diseases in the vineyard. Yeah, sure, it's a bad year for the winemaker, but I'm convinced that a wonderful, skillful winemaker who knows what he's doing is able to produce an excellent product irrespective of what weather conditions Mother Nature decided to serve him or her. Point. And that's actually wonderful news for the consumers, for us, for the wine drinkers. But we do talk about different styles of vintages in Burgundy. And here weather is a major hashtag. So both of reds and whites, Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Well, because both of these grape varieties are super sensitive, but Pinot Noir in particular are super sensitive when it comes to translating the weather conditions into the style of the wine. So Pinot Noir has super thin skin. It means that it ripens quite early. And it means that it doesn't like a lot of sun. In fact, if there's too much sun, it can actually damage it. And of course, that's why people plant it in cooler climates. When it comes to Chardonnay, Chardonnay is slightly different. It's a little less picky or less capricious, if you will. Chardonnay kind of adapts to different styles of climates. That's why people tend to call it chameleon. It can grow in the cold climate and also in the warmer climate, so it kind of can adapt to different weather conditions. But I kind of want to focus on Pinot Noir because it's such a star, such a celebrity in Burgundy, because it absorbs all of these little nuances and then, as I said, translates it into wine. Whatever happened in the vineyard in that specific year, Pinot Noir is going to mirror that in its style or in the bottle. So okay, let's go through the vintages. I thought we would start with 2022, the recently released, and we'll go up to 2019. I had a little bit of wine yesterday, half a bottle I think I had, and I don't feel that sharp today, to be honest with you. I slept well, but woken up, it was like a huge head, and I'm out of shape. Okay. Pull yourself together. 2022, yes. By all means, yes. Healthy grapes. We love that. So nice weather, really beautiful sunshine, not like too hot, not like canicule as the French say it, just beautiful sunshine, really warm, rain once in a while, but like nothing major, like nothing got flooded, nothing sank, which is, great news. So all in all, I expect really a lot from this vintage. I haven't really tasted through the whole line of what Burgundy has to offer in 2022, because some of the winemakers, they really take their time with their wines, and not all of the wines have been bottled yet. Some of them are still taking a little nap before they get released. But these first kind of sips that I took from 2022, beautiful. What I expect from 2022 is, first of all, beautiful balance. Like, this is probably going to be like the hashtag of the vintage for me. So I expect a nice acidity, these supple tannins, a nice like even alcohol level, nothing too, nothing too loud, nothing too hot, nothing burning, but still it has a nice density and consistency and a nice structure. And the coolest thing about the 2022 vintage is it's really approachable young. This is what I really love about it. So if your patience when it comes to Burgundy wines is like below zero, and your wallet is also kind of like laying thinly, then I would suggest go for 2022. They're not going to disappoint in their use, and they should be quite affordable. The quantity is also pretty nice, pretty generous, so they're not going to hurt your wallet that much. All in all, you're going to get a beautiful product with a decent price. But I do think that you can just go ahead and close your eyes and kind of buy blindly, because the producers in 2022, because it was such a wonderful vintage, so many healthy grapes, the producers don't matter all that much. So you can get the 2022 Burgundy basically from anyone. Just pick a label. You know what I mean? So go get it. It's a good one. It's a really good one. Okay, 2021. Where do we begin? Tough. So we have spring frost, hailstorms, yields go down. Winemakers had to have the balls of steel to endure 2021 because they had to do a lot of work in the vineyard. And like white wines are as rare as hen's teeth. And of course, like the weather, especially during the period where the grapes ripen, where they mature, was super rainy. It was kind of cold. I remember in the vineyard as well, it was raining all the time. So, when picking the grapes, it was all like muddy and I know so many people who are afraid of this 2021 vintage. Just absolutely like, 2021. Oh, no, I'm not going to touch it. And I can understand them. I mean, they should be intimidated because it's not for everyone. And in 2021, the trust in the winemaker plays a very important role. If he or she is attentive, hardworking, works meticulously, really, really patient, then you have a really good chance to get an absolutely unique, and I mean like really exclusive wine. Because weather like this, like it was in 2021, doesn't happen that often in Burgundy. The style of wine in Burgundy has become slightly too Mediterranean in the past. I think this has a lot to do with climate change. Because it's becoming a little warmer, the alcohol levels go up, and 2021 kind of painted a completely different picture. I think of it as a trip back to these classical times of, traditional Pinot Noirs. This lean, fruit-forward, very elegant, very gracious, very juicy style. You need to embrace acidity and bitterness here. Think of red currant kind of mashed with a little bit of leaves and these bitter stones, or the little pits, or maybe dark chocolate. These are the two kind of elements of bitterness that you would notice most of the red Burgundies in 2021. And then if you think acidity, really think about red fruits. So a lot of cranberry, pomegranate as well. So maybe raspberry, but like a young raspberry. I personally very much enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. I look for it specifically, but I can understand it's not for everyone. But like then again, Burgundy's geeks and freaks are on it. They are going to get it. They're going to negotiate a good price. They're going to put it in the cellar. They're going to keep it there. They're going to forget it exists. And then in a couple of years, they will have a super unique wine. And this is also my rule of thumb for 2021. Even if you have them, just really avoid opening them too young. Leave them in the cellar 5-6 years to nap, and afterwards you might get a pretty unique product. So don't be scared of 2021. Be brave with your wine choices, and don't forget to experiment. Remember I said something about Mediterranean? I think this is the epitome of it. The 2020 is really, it's a complete opposite to what 2021 is. And it does start to display this really kind of warm, luscious even style. So in 2022, what happened is the spring came really early. The winter was super mild. On my birthday in middle, like more end of April, and we were celebrating. It was like a t-shirt weather, like really, hello, rosé. You wanted to have rosé in April. So really early winter. No, spring. I mean, you had some hailstorm once in a while, rain, of course, but nothing too major. The yields were all right. And during the period when the wine ripens, when the grape ripens, so we're talking like July, August, it's really important to have sunshine. But in 2020, the sunshine was like really intense. And now when I taste 2020s, and I remember tasting them back when they just were released, just having this pitch black Pinot Noir. If you know your Pinot Noir, you know that every time you take a glass, swirl it, kind of put it against your palm, you can actually see your palm, your fingers, your hand, and that. The 2020s, most of the 2020s were so concentrated, the color that was extracted was so deep that it was just like pitch black. You couldn't see anything. You were like, is this Syrah? But yeah, 2020 is going to be a lot of dark berries. It's going to be a lot of spices, those intense, beautiful flowers like violets and maybe a little bit of Perrier rose. So all in all, I don't want to say not my Pinot because I usually prefer the more leaner and more like acidity. Let's go, crunchy style. But 2020 is just it's also wonderful and also like a gift. 2020 is like a gift for somebody who is just maybe they're maybe making their baby steps in burglary. Yeah. Just checking out what's out there in Burgundy after having had, a barrel of Malbec or Cabernet Sauvignon. This is a good one for you. This is like a nice little bridge to enter more of those funky styles of Pinot out there. Okay, 2019. 2019 is, if I were to drink one vintage for the rest of my life, it would be 2019. It's beauty. It's just like for me, it's like the sheer mention of 2019 vintage. I buy anything. It's sexy. It's kind of flirty. It excites you so much. The so many wine critics have called the wines from 2019 vintage seductive. It's already kind of says it all. And it definitely seduced me. I see it 2019 on the menu. Doesn't matter which appellation, I'm going to get a bottle because it never fails to satisfy me. The problem is there aren't that many left. I drink them all. In Germany, they say, one might well drink too much, but one never drinks enough. This is about 2019 vintage and me. Okay, let me actually wrap with this wonderful saying from the Germans. Hope you enjoyed a little excursus into the recent vintages. I'm going to get ready and prepare part 2 for you. What are we going to have? 18, 17, and 16. Ooh, also a nice trio. Thank you very much for watching.